What's up, everyone? This is James. Got another deck profile for you today. We're going to be doing Android 16 from Battle Evolution Booster. We only just got this set not too long ago, maybe a couple weeks ago in the States, so I finally gotten to mess around with the leaders. I messed around with Android 21, and I'll have a deck profile on the channel later for you guys for your Android 21 stands, but for right now, I'm really excited to bring you this leader. This guy has been really fun, really awesome. He has kind of blown away all of my expectations. And I think he's just better than Android 21 from a competitive standpoint. I was looking around online when I first was building the deck, and I didn't find that many lists I loved. I saw some tricolor ones. I didn't like the tricolor builds that much. I think tricolor is just too clunky, even in today's day and age. So this is a build I really like. It's straight blue-green, and it's been working really well for me. So let's get into the list here. So we've got Android 16, the boy. Look at him with those cute little burbs. He negates the energy exhaust skill of all of your Android 16s with the arrival keyword skill. So that's crazy good. So if you remember how good the Super 17 was for Android 21, well, he gets 8 of them. So that's so good. Then he has an auto, which is this. He's got one of my favorite card draw mechanisms, which is when he attacks, you discard an android, a blue or green android, and draw 2. So that just encourages you to play a bunch of androids in your deck, which is just awesome because I love androids. And it's some really good card filter, plus it sets up your drop area for his backside. He's got an awaken skill. If you're at 4 or less, you untap 1, draw 1, or if there's a collective 5 energy between you and your opponent, you can awaken until you have 5 or less life and then flip this card over. So really nice to have that alternate awakening skill, and we generally will be doing that just because we get an extra life on our backside here. Alright, so he's still got that same permanent to prevent energy exhaust. Then he also has a permanent where you can activate the arrival skills of Android 16s in your energy area. So that means any of these guys you've been charging the whole game from the beginning is suddenly they're in your hand still. So it's like you haven't even been losing cards to charge energy. It's crazy. Your hand's just like your energy area plus your hand. It's really good. Then he also has an auto once per turn. When you will arrival a guy from your energy area, you replace it with the top card of your deck in rest mode. So you're not even going down cards. Really, really good. And if that wasn't enough, he's got an activate battle once per turn. You can use a blue-green android card from your drop area in a combo. So this gets rid of the main downside of arrival, which is you have to put cards into it from your hand, right? You have to go minus just to get a big battle card in play. No longer, friends. No longer. Now we can just combo with things from the drop area. It's also once per turn, and not only during your turn. So you can also use this defensively. So you get a free 10k combo defensively as well. So it's kind of like the Beerus leader from the days of yore in set 8. So that's really nice too. Note, he doesn't draw on the backside, but he's getting a free 10k on both players' turns, and he also turns your energy area into an extension of your hand. So you're really not losing that many cards, I promise. Your hand's going to stay plenty thick throughout the rest of the game. Alright, so let's get into the staples here. So we've got 4 Steadfast Comeback and 4 Steadfast Ally. These are our untapped energy, and they have a rival. These are the cards we have to play. You have to play 4 of both of these, because these are what you want it to be charging all day, every day, and when you're hitting cards off of your leader, you want to be charging these off the top of your deck too, if possible. So, gotta play 8. Once the TP promos drop and we get the next one, I don't know how our ratios are going to look, so stay tuned for that update. But for now, we have to play 4 and 4. These guys are both crazy good in their own way. This guy arrives for 2. Look at all those keywords, man. Look at all that red text. Dual attack, blocker, revenge, arrival. So you can swing with him and he restands, he's a revenge blocker, or you can just swing with him twice. Really good. And when you arrival with him or combo with him, you make your opponent discard 1. It's only if you combo from the hand, though, so don't get excited about this whole activate battle thing. This is you'll never get extra value off of it other than combo power. But still really good value. You make him drop a card, get a dual attack revenge blocker, super strong. Then this guy arrives for 4. He's a double strike, 25k double strike, huge. And then when you play him, you search your deck for an Android 21, and then you can play an Android and put it in your hand, and then you can play an Android 21 from your hand with cost 5 or less. And when he attacks, your opponent discards 1. It's just fantastic all around. Getting to do the arriving 21s on your opponent's turn can be absolutely backbreaking against a lot of plays. Once we get into the Android 21s, you'll see why. These guys are the bread and butter of the deck. Android 18 Speedy Sub, I'm playing 4 of these. I see some people playing only like 2. I see some people not even playing them at all. I think that's just stupid. Like, this card's so good. It's your best turn 1 play by a country mile, and it's an android, so you can just drop it to your leader later on in the game when you don't need the fixing anymore. Comes into play, digs 5 for a blue or green android, puts it in your hand. It grabs your super combos, it grabs your check lands, it grabs your ramp, it grabs... What more could you want? It grabs everything. And it fixes your row at end of turn. It's super, super good. It turns your... it lets you turn a lot of your ramp into search cards as well, essentially, and it lets you get those bad omens that we have in the deck set up in your row later on in the game. You can do the old stuff like with Android 21, where you can play her on turn 1 off of a check land, dig 5, and then at the end of turn put this back in your hand, put a real energy exhaust into play, and then you have this ready to charge next turn as well. So, crazy good, solid role player in the deck. Love this card to death. Would never play less than 4. Energy Amplification. This is your turn 2 play. You want to be playing this on turn 2. You have to be playing this on turn 2. We have so many 4-cost things in the deck, you have to play this on turn 2. This is kind of like your hard mulligan condition, and thankfully Speedy Sub also digs 5 to find it, so you're going to be finding it a good percentage of the time. Alright, these are the 21s we're going to be tutoring up here. 2 Beautiful Scientists, 2 Destructive Villain, and 2 Bad Omen. Bad Omen is just kind of the blue-green staple, like, 2 or 3 is kind of a staple in any blue-green deck, because it's just awesome being able to just crit your opponent for 1, pop a battle card, and get a 25k into play out of your energy, right? Like, who doesn't want that? You can also grab Beautiful Scientist, which will pop a battle card and ramp you 1 out of the top 7, and it has blocker, so it's like it gets to stop 2 attacks on the opponent's turn by popping a thing and blocking. Or we have Destructive Villain for taking care of wide boards by popping one of our energy and then killing all of their battle cards with, I believe, cost 4 or less, which is actually a lot of cost. You'd think it would only be 2 or less for that kind of board wipe, but it's 4 or less. It's crazy good. Against more slower decks, we'll be going for this, and against go wide decks, we'll be going for this. Bad Omen will only go and grab if we want to get that burn win condition, but we're still playing her because she's awesome to just set up in our energy early for that threat of burn. Really good card. Android 18 Full of Rage. These guys can also rival from the energy, and they rival for only 1, which is really nice. Unfortunately, it doesn't negate their energy exhaust skill because they're not Android 16. They are Android 18. But that's okay. We can still pop them in the energy really easily early on, or just set them up with our, if we ramp into them off of our 16 or our 21, drop them in the energy, it's like we have them in our hand still, and we can also drop them in the energy with Android 18, the Speedy Sub, later on in the game as well. This guy's really good. It's got an auto. You can't play her for copies of her for the duration of the turn when you play her, so you can only play 1 a turn. Activate battle, return her to your hand, and then return one of your opponent's battle cards with cost 4 or less to the hand. So this is kind of some old tech I played in Android 21 a while ago. You might see her if you look at my old Android 21 profile from like set 8, set 9 days. But it's really clutch in a lot of situations, especially having an arrival for only 1. This is our cheapest arrival in the deck. And against a lot of just like go wide strats, you can just, you can stop potentially 2 attacks by comboing, if you combo this into play on your turn, you have her sitting there, then you can bounce her, and then arrival her on your opponent's turn, bounce her again, bounce 2 things. Really solid. And it's an android, so it pitches to the leader and everything. We got 2 of the 8-drop Android 17, Android 18 Siblings Revived. I love this card, dude. It's so good. Look at all the stuff it does. It's an 8 cost. It's a lot, but we do ramp in this deck. We'll generally get her out by turn 5, turn 6 at the latest. Auto, when you play this card, you wipe your opponent's board, ignoring barrier, and restand an energy at the end of the turn. So if for some reason you don't kill them with this, you get an energy back to defend yourself. Start demagicking, get all your energy back. Really good. And when you swing with them, you look at your opponent's hand. Your opponent reveals their hand. It's not random. You look. It's targeted. And you take 2 of their cards and you put them in their energy in rest mode, which, so the untrained eye might sound bad because you're ramping your opponent, but guess what? You'd way rather they had some of those cards like their super combos in their energy in rest mode than in their hand ready to be used. You can rip negates, counterplays, super combos, anything you want, and it's got dual attacks, so you're going to be getting to do that twice. This is a crazy good finisher. Any game you expect to go to turn 5 or later, this is going to be the way you win the game. Super clutch. Bionic Blitz, best super combo for the deck, easily. Like, you can combo with it from the drop. You don't get the discard from the drop, but it's still 10k you can combo with from the drop. It's tutorable. You can, if you ramp it accidentally, you can pick it back up with the Android 18. It's just so good. It's so good. Alright, getting into the one-ofs here. 1 assimilated ability, 1 Obuni. This looks kind of weird, and I'll tell you why. It's because I only have one Obuni. But I was also trying Assimilated Ability before, and these cards shine in very different matchups. It just depends on your meta. I'm playing 1-on-1 right now because I don't have 2 Obuni, but I could definitely see this just being the way I play it for best of 1 events. In best of 3, you'll definitely want to main one side the other, but they're very good in very different matchups. Assimilated Ability is really good. I just realized when I was playing against my wife, it's really good against Mecha. It's really, really good against Mecha, because it pops 5 or less, which is the entire deck. And Mecha just loves having all these 4-5 cost things in play. And it has barriers, so they have a hard time dealing with it. It's also good against just like anything that just wants to play kind of fair Dragon Ball like that. You just, pop in drawing cards on both players' turns. Crazy good. We remember how he was a terror back in the day. He's still really good. And you get the old combo just like the good old days in set 9. Ramp 1, and then play this on your next turn. Sets up your Bond 2. Super easy, because you got your 4 energy. Obuni is also very good, but in very different matchups. This guy you really want against blue, because he has Deflect. He's the only card in the deck with Deflect. So if your opponent is able to set up a God Sealing technique, it's really, really rough for you, because your opponent can God Sealing anything you want to rival from your energy, and it doesn't even come into play, so you don't even get the energy back with the auto. It's just completely backbreaking. You can't really risk doing it into an open God Sealing, but that's why you want Obuni, is because he has Deflect, so he just says, forget about your stupid God Sealing. I'm just going to get a Deflect guy with a bunch of tokens that'll restand my energy, potentially, too. And then I'm going to use these tokens to mow down your Unison, and now I can do my arrivals again. Yeah, in a perfect world, I'd probably be maining 2 Obuni citing these, but depending on your meta, you can play one or the other. They're both really strong in different matchups. 1, Peak of Primitive Power. This could be Baby Hatch, this could be Kai, this could be Heroine's Lineage, this could be whatever secret rare you want. I like this because it's the spiciest with the leader, because you can arrival it from your energy. And it has really good synergy with the old 8-drop here. Just like back in the day with Android 21, you can arrival it on your opponent's turn for 5. It'll ramp the top 2 cards of your deck, and then that sets you up. You'll go to 7, and then you'll have 1. You'll just charge for turn, and then you have 8 to play this. So you can use this to survive for a turn, pop an opponent's battle card, ramp 2. They're not in rest mode unless they have energy exhaust, so you can still defend with them, and then play these on the next turn. So very strong. Also, the fact that he's an arrival, so you can play him from the energy when your leader is on the backside, means he's kind of tutorable. He's a tutorable secret rare, which is really neat, because we have that Android 21 Beautiful Scientist that looks at the top 7, and lets us ramp 1 into our energy. So if you see this, you can just drop it in the energy, and now you have a secret rare available to you whenever you want. Really good. Might not be the best, but, it has the most synergy with the deck, and it seems like the most fun, so that's what I'm playing. 1 Scientist Fu. We don't draw on the back, so having that extra draw 2 is really nice. We do technically need our drop area, but it's so easy to have access to a card to have in the drop area. We just need 1. You just, if you have 1 super combo in your hand, you just overwhelm for this, draw 2, and then swing and combo with it, and you have your drop set up again. And he's just really good. He doesn't have Deflect, unfortunately, so he still doesn't get around the whole God Sealing problem, but, if they're going to deflect this for 1, it goes back to your hand, and then you can just go ahead and arrival with something else, because they can't counterplay for the rest of the turn, so that's fine. And he's also got Double Strike to help pressure Unisons, which is really cool. The card draw is the main reason we're playing him over, fighting against Fate and stuff like that. It's because we really want that card draw. Plus, it's good old Scientist Fu, I love this card. He's so fun. Alright, Unison time. Baby the Unknown Parasite. You could play 3. I've seen some people playing 3 with good success. I like 4 just for that consistency, because he's a really, really good turn 3 play after you ramp, because you'll play him on turn 3 after ramping with 16. You'll have an energy up, and then you can potentially awaken and have 2 energy up to help defend it, and you could potentially get an arrival play going or a counter play or something. So really nice. I'm normally against having Unisons in an arrival-heavy strategy like this, because your opponent can always just send their battle cards and their leader at your Unison, and that prevents you from having a combo step, and then you waste all your energy you left up for arrival, right? But this Unison's very special, because it's a 3 cost and it upticks for 2, which means it upticks really fast, and it's hard to kill on the initial hit. So if they're sending cards at your Unison, they're kind of just wasting their attacks, because they're either going to have to send, 5 attacks at this guy, which is, fine for you, or they're not going to kill it, and they're just kind of wasting their combat, and you're saving life. So that it just works out fine. You're okay wasting 3 or 4 energy if they're going to waste their whole turn trying to kill this. Really nice. It also just the uptick to draw one. It helps you on the backside when you don't have a hand mechanic. It also lets us play Android 18, Let the Battle Begin. I'm only playing 2. I'd like to play 3. I just don't really know where to cut a card. It is reliant on having a unison in play, which kind of sucks. And the main reason we're playing 2, but it's nice because it's an Android we can pitch to our leader, and it's just crazy good when it works. Like, say you ramp on turn... I don't know where my dude went. So you ramp on turn 2, so you go up to 4 energy on turn 3, then you can play this, and you have an energy up so you can counter with this as well. It's really good. So I've been really liking this unison. And then it also lets us play God Sealing. Just 3, just for space reasons, and it's not always online, and our unison costs 3, so sometimes it takes a couple extra turns to get going. So, God Sealing, you can't go wrong with it. And then rounding up the rest of the deck, we've got D-Magic, and we've got Sensu Bean. Because it's blue. Why would you not play these cards? I don't have any Heroic Prospect in the deck, because I don't own any, because they're really expensive, but also I don't think you need them for the deck, because I think Dimension Magic's just better, because it lets you get your arrival plays going by restanding your energy. And it's not reliant on having a unison in play, because we do play a unison in the deck, but we're not necessarily always casting it all the time as our primary game plan. Whereas if we had Heroic Prospect, we'd be pretty much pigeonholed into playing the unison every chance we could. So the D-Magic's just really nice for that. And Sensu Bean, it's Sensu Bean. I'm not gonna talk about that card. It's so good. But yeah, guys, that's the deck. It's super fun. It's super interesting being able to have your energy be an extension of your hand. It's really interactive, honestly, like with all of the ways your arrivals come in at different times, and you can pop battle cards at different times, and play 4-drops, and it's so good. It's so fun. I definitely recommend it. I was kind of mixed on the idea of this deck when I was first spoiled, but then I put it together just to try it out, and I was just absolutely blown away. So I definitely recommend trying it out, guys. Make sure to hit the like button, the subscribe button if you're new, if you want to see more deck profiles like this, you want to see some gameplay of this deck in action. Hit us up in the comments section if you have any questions, comments, anything like that. I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as I can, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye.